Cole, you grab our sword. Yeah, you can grab the. All right. Got a couple of folks cycling in. But look, first of all, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out here. My name is Samir Rahi. I am one of the organizers for the AITX Houston chapter. This is our second meetup in the post, so for those of you who are new to our new space, welcome. I also want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Multiplied AI. They helped hook us up with the location, so really happy to be here and happy to be working with them. Before I turn it over to Josh, for all the new folks in the crowd, I just want to give a quick primer on what AI Texas is, what the AI Texas Houston chapter does. So with that, AI Texas is a statewide community of AI enthusiasts, founders, and builders looking to come together, share ideas on their tech, figure out new ways to innovate. So we do all kinds of stuff. We do monthly meetups, workshops, hackathons, dinner series, and like all kinds of other stuff, right? So whether you're in Houston, Austin, or Dallas, and possibly San Antonio, are we in San Antonio? We might, not yet. But if you're in Houston, Austin, or Dallas, the three cities that really matter, there is AI activity in Texas. Don't let our friends in San Antonio hear that. So what makes the Houston chapter different, really quickly? The Austin, what I've seen looking at the AI community is that Austin is very AI literate, but they really build a lot of AI gratia AI for AI's sake. The Houston community, by contrast, is extremely industry literate and AI curious. So I think our goal with the Houston community was to see if we can up the AI literacy in Houston, pair that with the city's deep industrial knowledge in healthcare, energy, finance, we can really build something truly unique. So to that end, we've decided to make the Houston group, actually with input from a lot of you, a very praxis, like applications focused session. So every month we get workshop leaders like Josh, who are actually members of our community, to come in, share cool things that they're building using AI, and then show you how they built those things so that you can come in with your laptop or your notepad and walk out with a skill that you can take home and actually play around with. So we have one big goal aside from moving into this awesome new space in 2026. We are looking to put on a hackathon. So as I mentioned, the Austin AI Texas chapter does hackathons. They've gotten NVIDIA, Codex, other groups to sponsor. We want to bring some of that energy to Houston. So currently targeting Q3, like September, when kids get back from school, as a proposed date for that. If you guys are interested in volunteering, if you know an organization that might be a good sponsor, we'd love to chat. Also, as I mentioned, this would not be possible without members of our community like Josh or like Austin, who you may remember is a community member, led last month's workshop and is not here because his dog is in surgery, so send your prayers his way. But without community members like Josh leading workshops, we wouldn't have the cool content that we do to share with you all. So if you are interested in leading, scan that QR code there, whether this is for you or for someone in your community that you know that's like a super AI power user builder. If you think that someone that you know has an idea for a workshop, we would love to welcome you to the stage. In addition to that, we also have a newsletter. This is the base way to get in touch with everything AI Texas throughout the state. So if you sign up for that, you'll get the updates on future meetups. When we do the hackathon, you'll get more information about that. So give folks a couple seconds to scan that. And then last but not least, this is brand new, so I expect to see more phones here. We just launched a WhatsApp community to try and give you guys more real-time updates. So definitely an opt-in thing, because you guys may be getting, you'll get at least one message a month from us, hey, workshop's coming up. But we just wanted to try and communicate with everybody in a way that's more dynamic and responsive. Anyways, that's my spiel. So with all that, I will turn it over to Josh to lead today's session on building a second brain with Obsidian. Everyone give him a hand.
All right, thanks. So simple 4-step formula today. Why is note-taking hard? Let's talk about it for a few minutes. I don't know if there are any avid, hardcore note-takers out there, but it is a skill that can bring value to your life. What is a second brain? It probably makes sense that I explain that before we dive into it. And then we'll spend a good chunk of our hour together here using Obsidian. So you're going to download something, you're going to start to play around with it. I'm going to start to encourage you to connect some dots in your own life. and there'll be some questions and answers along the way. And then finally, toward the tail end, I'll be showing off how AI might be able to be used more in your note-taking workflows and your second brain. Sound good? Sweet. So, who am I? Why am I here? So I'm Josh Medeski. That's my website. I'm a full-stack developer by day, and I'm a YouTuber and a tool builder by night. So I build tools for developers mostly, and productivity enthusiast. So I'm not coming here having downloaded Obsidian last night. I've been using Obsidian for over 5 years, and I've been using note-taking systems and similar tools for 20 years. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And as you see, I've 5-year mark was recently passed as a second brain user officially. So we'll do a brief survey, just 1 to 5 with your hand. How confident are you at taking valuable notes? Sweet. Look at that, we got lots of high numbers, impressive. Some low numbers, that's okay. I think I'm a 4. All right. How confident are you at organizing your notes? Once you have them, sweet. We got some good numbers, we got some bad numbers, all right. I have some of the leaders looking for the 5s so that you guys can help us later. All right, how about this? How confident are you in following up with your notes? You've written notes, do you use them ever again? Lots of 3s. Okay, somewhere in the middle. So it's my goal by the end of this talk that you can go up a point or 2 in one of these scores. We'll self-evaluate later. But I want to hear some of your concerns and your pain points. This is an open discussion, so we're going to spend a few minutes just talking about it. Why is note-taking hard? What are your challenges in trying to keep up with life and write it down in a meaningful way? Does anyone have one?
For me, it's like just even looking back at what I wrote, like I'll write something down and then forget that I even wrote it.
You write it down and then you never look at it again.
Yep.
Who else does that? They maybe make a note and then it lives somewhere on your hard drive forever. Anyone else have a pain point they want to share?
It's very rare you actually need to take notes on something, and you usually need to take fewer than you think. Figuring out when that is tough.
So for you, you're overexerting yourself. You're kind of over note-taking. Yeah, that's valid. That's fair.
For me, it was like being able to sub-level the notes.
Okay.
Like versus having to like start a new paragraph. Sometimes I just want to like have that outline type organization where I can do sub-level.
Do you get lost in making those decisions while you're in the middle of trying to take the notes?
Not really. It was just a lot of note-taking apps didn't have that functionality.
I see. So your tools were limited. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Obsidian solved that. I love that.
Yeah, building on his point, sometimes meetings are chaotic.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff flying around, and so the trick is to pick out action items, not just a whole lot of transcripts.
Yes. So working through the noise. Yeah. And what I think is a more important skill than even that is being able to identify those action steps that aren't said. Because I find sometimes meetings we forget what are we actually doing when we leave this meeting. So that's a great call out. Anyone else? Great. So let's talk about it. What is a second brain? What do I mean by that? So it's a personal knowledge management system. We call it PKM. It's just an area of study for, managing information. And this is at a personal level. Document management systems are used, at an enterprise level. You may have seen other systems similar, but this is intended to be for yourself, just as a context. It's designed by Tiago Forte. I was lucky enough to graduate from his cohort. So he did a cohort 5 years ago. He was not doing them anymore, but he's since written a book about it. And the main goals that he shares is basically it's an extension of your mind to capture, organize, retrieve ideas, notes, inspirations, insights. He also says that it helps combat information overload, reduces forgetfulness, and boosts creativity. Right? So those are some of the promises that a second brain system can deliver for you. Similarly, he has something called the PARA method, which is what we'll break down today. And it's his organizational system for organizing your life. PARA is an acronym for Projects, Areas, Resources, and Archives. So we'll go in depth as to how that works in Obsidian. It simplifies organization, freeing up time and energy for more important tasks, and it encourages you to organize information based off your current projects and goals rather than just collecting ideas and thoughts. So it's a very action-oriented system, and I will show you guys some tips along the way. So I heard this briefly. We got a good shout out over here that Obsidian is the choice, that app of choice for today. This could be translated into OneNote or Apple Notes or anything else, but I have created a starting place for everybody today, and we'll be using this application. So it's free, love that. It uses Markdown. So Markdown it's plain text. So it's like a TXT file on your computer, and you can define headings and bullets and block quotes and links, and all sorts of things can be done with plain text. It's very simple. It will always be yours. So Obsidian, once you've set it up, it lives on your hard drive, and even if Obsidian closes shop, all those notes are still going to be valuable and useful. It uses a wiki-link system, so these double brackets is our way of connecting notes to each other. It has a graph for visualizing connections, and then there's a whole plugin ecosystem. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can extend the functionality, and I'll show off one of the plugins that you could use later today. So any questions? We kind of diving through definitions and the tools we're going to use. Okay.
I do have a question. Super, just because you were mentioning like OneNote and these other note-taking tools. I haven't really played around with any of these other ones, but how does it compare to Obsidian, like in terms of like, is there interlinking for the other ones, or is this what Obsidian is good for?
Yeah, so interlinking is, each tool will have its own way of doing it. It's often proprietary. So, you know, if that note-taking app doesn't want to keep supporting the users, you have to migrate, you have to move somewhere. So Obsidian is a bit of a open source, you know, simple mechanism that can be transferred. Not that you would have to transfer it, but that's the main selling point. Anyone else?
So is this similar to, I think whatever is something like
Evernote?
yeah, Evernote, and similar, and of course there's other tools similar, but I guess open source version.
Exactly. Yeah, very similar. And Evernote is another proprietary solution. So you can't just take it out and use it somewhere else. It's kind of locked down and a little bit cumbersome to get it out once you've locked in. Okay. So we're doing very good on time. That's great. We're going to workshop this. So I have created a template. So you're not just going to like be given an empty folder and told go create something. And we're going to walk around. We have some leaders here. I think Coles and Samir and myself. We're going to walk around and help. The trickiest part is going to be downloading things. So Obsidian is an application that works on Windows, Mac, Linux, iPad. There is an iPhone version. I think iOS and iPad might be a little extra step here. And then you're going to download something. So when you go to this longer URL here, if anyone's familiar with GitHub, it's a great place to put code. You're going to download this as a zip, and I'm going to show off what that looks like together so that you guys can do this with me. But, yes? Oh, the Wi-Fi. We should probably share the Wi-Fi for those that don't have it yet.
Okay, I guess it's going around here, but I will read it out. The network name is CD Training Room, and the password, all lowercase, is death before decaf. CD Training Room and death before decaf. All lowercase, no space.
So I'm going to give the room like 5 or 10 minutes. And I'll do a bit of a health check here in halfway mark. So the goal is to have Obsidian. Who already has Obsidian downloaded? Great. So look at your neighbor. Wow, you guys are really focused on this end.
Every time I feel like this kind of like
We got all the Obsidian people here, so we're gonna play the Chinese fire drill, right? This is a little trickier. I'll show you how this works together. Feel free to talk to your neighbor if you need to, but get Obsidian for Mac, right? You're gonna download it, and it's gonna download, and you're gonna do the install, right? What is this here? All right. Right on time. It's like a starting point. And so you'll be able to open Obsidian, and there'll be notes already made, and folders already made, and all of that. Because otherwise, it would take too long to try to do all of that in 30 minutes. And so you'll see the system. You'll see some sample notes that you could just delete if you don't want them. And then I'm going to encourage you guys to begin to add notes, right? So put it somewhere trusted in your file system. And then I'll show off in a few minutes how it works, but you're going to basically go to Obsidian, open Vault, and then you'll choose that folder as the Vault. And we'll see what kind of hiccups come up as we get people to use it.
I mean, it could work, actually.
Oh my god.
All right. For those that are new to GitHub, I'm going to show you quickly how that works. So it may not look exactly like this, but you're going to want to try to find that green button here. And then you can download zip. That's the quickest way. If you're a computer programmer, you might know how to pull this off GitHub yourself. But this is the button that you want, download zip. Hey, we got some stars. You want some help? You got it?
Yes. Oh, I don't have my,
Make some room. Adrian has GitHub.
I'm already there.
You got it?
Already got it.
Sweet. So for whoever's gotten ahead, you'll want to basically open Obsidian and say open Vault. And then you're going to choose the folder that you downloaded and hopefully unzipped. And then it's going to present you with what you need. You got it, Carlos? Look at you.
Really got it.
Yeah, so now open folder as Vault, and you'll choose the folder that got downloaded. And you'll want to make sure to unzip it. Yep. Yep, and open. And you'll want to trust. Yeah. Great. Hey guys, welcome. Glad to see you. Yep.
This setup compared to like setting up for like Notion?
Notion's pretty opinionated, so Obsidian's very unopinionated. Do whatever you want. And so I'm going to give some guidance as to how the system, second brain para system is useful. But Notion is like, uses databases, right?
Yeah.
And then those databases are locked down with fields.
Yeah.
And Obsidian's very free-forming. So you can add and remove properties from any node at any time. You can create database views, which I'll show off a little bit.
Oh, so it's just not field-based lock is the difference?
There's no database. It's just plain text files. So you can do whatever you want with any node at any time, and you can create restrictions on, self-imposed restrictions. Versus Notion is always going to force you to do things a certain way.
And then
Yeah.
the information is like retained by...
Obsidian doesn't listen or look at your notes in any way at all. They do have a syncing service. So if you want to sync it to your phone and sync it to a backup to the cloud, then it's going to be encrypted, but it'll be on their server then. But for today, it's just yours. Yeah.
And it connects to the Microsoft Office if I had to, by any chance.
You could find a way like a sync thing, like Dropbox style file syncing, that kind of thing you could do. I know some people do that with Microsoft, like OneDrive.
Yeah.
You could drop these files in OneDrive and then they would sync if you wanted to do that. Yeah.
But there is no direct API kind of connection.
Yeah, they're not looking at anything. Yeah. It's a one-way thing.
So what's the purpose of that?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning fast.
Note-taking, yeah. I'll break down some of the examples. Yeah, we're going to look at some of the examples together just to show you what I would do. And there's a couple notes in there that are real notes that I wrote. And they're not perfect, they're a little sloppy, and they're a little messy, but they're useful, right? So it'll be good.
Can you share a collaborative space with someone else? Let's say I was working on a team.
There's a little bit of that. Like if you had a way to sync the files,
Okay.
then people could.
So for example, I have iCloud, so if I sync it through iCloud, can I share it to people?
You
so
can
they
share it to
format
people, yeah.
Oh,
And I think Obsidian sells some sort of service for collaborating. But remember, on its own, in its simplest form, it's just files on your computer.
Files on your computer.
So however you would share a file with someone else in another way
I was just asking
is available.
in a collaborative, let's say
Yeah. Yeah, like Google Drive, right? You can all type at the same time. I haven't seen anyone, I've seen someone try to do that with a plugin,
Okay.
like the real time, let me, add to the note at the same time. I've seen that. So it's possible. Yeah, you can do that. And then it'll sync it to the drive. Yep. Dropbox, iCloud. I mean, you could use any service if you want. Yeah. Great. All right, are we feeling good? Who feels stuck or not sure what to do next? You're trying it on your phone? Yeah.
On my phone, I have the file. I downloaded it.
Okay.
Now what do I do?
You'll go to Vault down here. There's this, Manage Vaults. So now you'll want to, I don't know how it works on iOS. I think you're going to be limited here,
That's okay. It's not big.
but you can watch
I
along.
was very
Files.
unprepared.
No, you're all right. There may be some limitations with iOS. Some people will be able to set this up on their computer and then connect to their Obsidian Vault if they wanted to on their phone. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I didn't catch exactly what to do next, so I got to...
Okay, great. So we're going to go code,
Oh, okay.
and we're going to download zip. Did you get it to work? Yeah. Okay, great. Do you want to help him, AJ? Great. AJ knows what to do. Thank you. All right. All right, I'm going to fill in the gaps for anybody that hasn't gotten to the final step. So what you'll want to do is when you have opened Obsidian, you're going to want to open Vault. You'll see a screen like this. You'll say Open Folder as Vault. And then you're going to choose the folder that you downloaded, right? You're going to see something familiar, areas, projects, resources, right? You'll see a few other things, and you'll just open this folder, and this is going to be our starting point.
I just moved that folder into my...
Oh, yeah, that's great. So you already have some notes to start to play around with. I love that. Yeah, otherwise it's just an empty folder, and you create a note, right? And that can be a hard place to start.
The thing that I went about building mine was I kind of did a whole like interview session with Claude and like, hey, do some research online on the best.
Great. Yep.
Help me. This is what I needed to help me with like people, projects.
Yep.
Budget.
Yep.
And then I built it out like that. Pretty much. I don't know if that's how you also approach it.
Well, so I've spent 15 years doing that. Follow Tiago's methodology for the most part. Have a few extras, bonus pieces to share today. So I'm just a voice of reason for what you did with Claude. Yeah. Right? That's the only difference. So that was your partner in setting up an organizational system. And you can borrow from this. If you decide, oh, I like that better, you can change your system up.
And it's so much easier with AI.
Yeah, I'll show off that a little bit to get people excited about how that will work.
That's what I'm trying to learn more about how to integrate with Claude.
Yeah, we'll do that today.
The Claude code can take a disorganized one and say make it the parent method.
Sure, you could do that.
Does it work?
Yeah. Can it make dir? Can it MV this file to that place? You know, that's all it's going to do.
Well, does it understand enough about the context? Because the para has 4 categories.
If you said, I want Tiago Forte's second brain para method, you know, the zeitgeist knows. That's right. It would do that. I mean, he's written a book. He's got hundreds of thousands of YouTube subscribers, so he's an established guy.
I have AIs to read books for me.
Oh yeah? You're not a book reader anymore, Lester? Is that you, Joey? You just let AI read your books?
I use Audible.
Oh, nice. That makes sense. All right, who is needing more time? More time, raise your hand. We have more time in the back, maybe. More time, all right. Do you want some help?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check with them too.
Downloaded it.
Okay, so you'll hit open, the second button, and go to downloads. And we have to find it. So it's somewhere in here, right?
Yeah.
Go back to Finder for me. You have Finder open somewhere?
Yeah.
You can just retype it, Finder, yeah. And go to downloads. Have you downloaded the GitHub thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where that is? You can date modified. Did you move it somewhere? Yep, you have it here.
Oh, for
Yeah, go here and download it.
I have the,
Or did you already do that?
Yeah, I already have it.
Repos. That's what you have to go to. So if you want a little bonus, you can drag this over to this side of your Finder and it'll always be there if you want to start to play around with managing that.
Got it. I open with.
Well, for now, we got to go back to Obsidian and you got to drill in.
Oh, okay.
Enough time. If you're lost or you haven't quite gotten there, feel free to raise your hand still. Some demo time. So I'm going to encourage some steps from all of you. I'm hoping that some of you have already started clicking around and diving into my starter template. But what you're going to see is a folder system. So there's a few folders that I didn't discuss yet that I'll talk about today. I'm happy to share all of the pieces here. And now that it's on your computer, I just want you all to know that it's yours. You get to change folders, delete files, create new files. You could scratch all this and just ignore me and do your own thing if you wanted. But this is a starting point. And it's often, I was talking to Alex, it's hard to get started. Where do I put my notes? What do I do with them once I'm done working on something, right? And so I'll show that off a bit today. So you'll see this graph view. If you hit Command P, or you go up here to one of these buttons, Command Palette, you can ask to open Graph View, and you can sort of see your notes, and how they connect. And I wanted to be of some encouragement. I have 4,000 notes. So this is my system. And here's all of my notes and all of the things. And we can explore a little bit more of this later, but we're going to start with the template that I've shared with you guys today. All right, so let's just start with the basics. Areas. Areas are just any, yeah.
Are you going to share that theme that you're using?
It's my theme. I haven't given it out yet. So I'm a computer programmer. I wrote it all up myself. So subscribe to my email, and I'll, at some point I'm working to publish all of that. And if you guys want to nerd out more, you could take a closer look at my vault after the workshop. But we got to start simple. We have a canvas, very plain, very gray, and we can bring some life to it. So areas are anything that requires responsibility on your part to manage over time, right? Your job, your kids, your pets. Maybe you want to put your cookbook in here, you know, feed your family. I'm into 3D printing. I have a bunch of 3D printing notes. And so what I want you to do is think of 2 or 3 areas that you could add to this folder. And all that looks like is right-click, new note, and I'm going to call this 3D printing. And then my life will begin to connect with all of the things 3D printing that come into my life. I'm going to use Obsidian to help me organize that. So let's just spend 30 seconds, 2 minutes, if you haven't yet.
I guess a question, Josh, like how granular do you get on areas, right? Because, you know, home is maybe a lot more general than 3D printing. So what's the threshold on either side? How broad's too broad on areas?
There's no hard and fast rule. And what I encourage all of you to do today is as you leave and as you start living your lives, begin to identify what is actually a useful thread in your life. My areas have changed over time. They're not set once and just always the same.
How do you use that graph view at scale? Because when it's that full, I can't see how you
You can scroll in and out, but then I start leaking sensitive information to all of you. But yeah, it's just a scroll wheel. You can zoom in and out. When you start zooming in, you can start seeing notes and what they are, like the labels start to show. I think you can hit Command-G on Mac, graph, kind of fun. You'll start to learn key bindings if you're a keyboard wizard. So anyone have an area that they want to share with the group? Who identified one that's useful for them?
I'll start. I mean, AITX is an area for me.
AITX, yeah. It is for me too.
Yeah.
I'd say fitness.
Fitness. Yeah, I could see like workout routines and videos you watch and
Like running.
PRs. Yeah.
Projects,
Say more. What kind of projects?
home improvement projects.
Okay. So I'd encourage you to think that home improvement is an area, and projects will come out of that. Yes? Coffee, yes. Some of you can delete my coffee note if you want. My feelings won't be too badly hurt. But look, oh my gosh, the first feature I'm going to show off. There's something called bases in Obsidian. Some of you may be familiar with Notion's database views. So in the last year or so, the Obsidian team came up with how to do this. So you can say, hey, I want every note where the areas contain coffee, right? And so when we look at that, we're going to see a resource. Not a resource, I think it's a relationship with Too Sweet. I put their coordinates in here, I put their address in here, I've tagged them with areas, and now when you open up the coffee shop note, it will show you coffee shop notes. Kind of cool. I have vinyl record stores stored on my Obsidian, so I have all the record stores in Houston mapped out. I have coffee shops. I have like 20 coffee shops marked out on my map. Could be restaurants. I'm a big restaurant guy, but I haven't made the effort to get coordinates and put addresses in and all of that. So there's a little bit of work for. Anyone else have another area they want to share?
Me and my friends like to play pickleball a lot, but we kind of want to like go around in different areas.
Yeah,
See people. So this is in San Antonio.
I love that.
So, like maybe different places that we go to, we can maybe rank, see based on like who's actually open to play or who's going to be like
Yeah.
that one guy that
Oh, yeah.
like, that only wants to play like the high tier people. So
Is anyone else into any other kind of sport, like soccer, or maybe you watch basketball? Sports people, yeah. You could, it's kind of nerdy, but you could get into it and be like, I'm going to track people and their stats, and I'm going to, yeah, fantasy football, that could be really useful. So the sky's the limit here, and it's, you don't want to pick every single area of your life today and start trying to use Obsidian for it. Pick one or two and ease your way into it and figure out how it can, most importantly, bring value to your life, right? I like video games, so I have a gaming note. So here's some video games I've been playing. And as I play a video game, I like to say, 10 things to do to be good at the game. I had to report a crash. And so it's a little bit nerdy, but it's not clean, it's messy, right? And it doesn't really matter how structured it is. All that matters is that it brings some sort of value to you.
So, question is, like, when you're making these notes,
Yeah.
could you get a little bit more, are you like going and typing them in, you go to your phone, or you voice noting it, like how are you?
I'm typing. I'm a typist, yeah. We're going to show off a little bit of AI. So I'm going to show that off in the next few minutes. So AI can write your notes for you to some degree, but you lose some lack of ownership if you're just like, AI, write me a 10,000 word article. Are you going to read it? Is it useful? Maybe not, but it can provide structure, which is something I want to show off. So life is going to have areas that start to show up in your radar, and you're going to have a sense of what you actually want to put in here. But everything, I think, is driven down to projects. So we have active projects, and we have someday maybe. These are just folders I came up with. You could say I have waiting for, if you're familiar with getting things done. That's kind of where I borrowed this from. And so these are active projects. So this may look familiar to some of you. I'm attending a Second Brain workshop. I want to take notes on what Josh has been talking about today. So I want to download Obsidian, the starter vault. Maybe you've followed instructions or not, and you've brainstormed a few common areas. And then I'd encourage you to also maybe think of some active projects, right? And then you may say, I met Samir. I talked to Alex, right? And then you can start to maybe come up with some follow-up, right? And so someone was asking me, why would I use Obsidian? Why is this better than others? It's meant to be a very flexible system, so you put whatever you want in here. If this is your new project management software, great. If you're just in meetings and you need a place to take notes, and you want to be able to process those notes and make sure you have relevant next steps, Obsidian is really good at that. And so I encourage you to continue this note and finish it. You may also see exploring the Obsidian community. So you'll see there are plugins and themes. There's some URLs. Once you find themes that you find useful, you say Josh's theme is coming soon. Maybe you have to subscribe. Right? I'm not going to tell you how to take notes. This is just how I do it. But I do want to show you something recently that happened that I think might connect the dots for someone. So I have this home area, and on the 19th, my garage door stopped working. Has anyone else had a broken garage door? Okay, great. Yeah, it sucks. And my car was in the garage, so I was like, I can't go anywhere until this is figured out. So this is what we call a call out, just a markdown. This is markdown in action. When you use bracket, exclamation point, warning, Obsidian decides to make it pretty. It won't open. All right, so what do? I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to figure out, can I fix this myself? And I watched a video, and I saved it here. So if in 2 years from now I decide, you know what, I actually want to fix my own garage door, it's here. But I decided it's dangerous. It requires tools I don't have. I'm not doing this. All right, then find a professional. Hey, look, we got a spelling error. Find a professional. So I went to Google. I found the first result. I made a phone call, and they said, here's the appointment. It's a free quote. We won't charge a service fee. There was a potential cost. Great. The next day, Andrew showed up. He actually showed up early, which was great. He came a little early. He quoted me this much. you could tell me if that's a good price or not after the workshop. But he ultimately replaced the bottom brackets because metal was rubbing up against metal and it caused a problem. And my garage door is now much quieter. And so next steps, I left a review. So you can just see this is a stream of consciousness. This is just me trying to figure out how to get something done. And rather than just spending time on Google, and trying my best to do mental gymnastics, I just had Obsidian open and I had my browser open and I just said, oh, that's a good video. I'm going to copy paste that video. And then, oh, he said it was going to be this much. I'm going to write that down. And then he finally, he gave me checklists. He said, hey, you should lubricate all the hinges. So I actually bought lubricant. I didn't link to this, but I may actually say, link to Amazon product. I could link to the product so I could rebuy it later. But I'm going to show off a little bit of AI. So who is using an AI tool actively today? ChatGPT, Claude Code, anything? Okay, cool. Like most of you. That's great. I'm going to use one called Claude Code. It's a popular choice. So,
What do you do with this beyond like Notes app stuff?
Beyond Notes app stuff?
Yeah, I can do all this in Notes app. So
Then do it in Notes app.
I know.
But like, what did you think of like this? Notes app doesn't do this, right?
What do you do with that, I guess?
It's up to you. Notes app also doesn't do this, right? So they're just features that are distinct to this app. Notion has other features that Obsidian doesn't as well, right? So you can decide if you think Obsidian's a good fit. But I want to show this off. So I have these items, and I'm sure many of you have come across this where you finished a project and you realize that things need to be done in the future, but you don't care enough to go and do note-taking gymnastics and get all of this to be put in a place that's useful, right? I don't like doing this. So I decided, hey, let's have AI do this. So we're going to do Claude Code. And the way Claude Code works, hey, look, we got Opus 4.8. I can say that we have this garage door repair job. So Claude Code lets you mention notes, and I can say, I want to move the maintenance.
Have you added a tool for Obsidian? Native
No.
Claude Code knows how to.
No, so
Because it just interacts with your.
So because, and this is good, I'm going to show off another way to do this. If you use Codex or the Claude desktop app, let's just go ahead and do that for now. I'm prepared. And I do use dictation sometimes, so I'll show that off. Update the garage app. Hold on, let's see. We're actually going to, can I? All right. We're going to try dictation. So the way this works is you just have to point. Hey guys. Hey Lester. Lester, we're about to see it. We're going to see it happen. So when you're in Codex or Claude desktop app, you can say, I want to go to a project, and your project is follow the same steps you did to open Obsidian. You're going to say, this is my project. All right? And then in this case, I can say, the garage door repair job mentioned maintenance. I want to create a new maintenance table on my home note that states the area of the house, the activity that's required, how often it needs to be done, and most importantly, when I should be doing it next. So project the next dates. And so this is just the dictation app, and it just decided to spit that out for me. And it's going to look at garage door repair app, it's going to look at home app, it's going to read it, it's going to decide, great, I'm going to put that. Let's see how well this worked. Home, which I demoed this yesterday and it worked well. I want to of the right. And When to next.
This isn't vibe coding, it's life coding.
It's live coding, baby. That's right. So we're going to see, I think Claude Code's going to do a better job at this.
You do this well enough that you can be replaced by a robot because you specified your life.
That's right. So there you go. Boom. Round of applause to Claude Code. Yay, it did it. So now it just said, okay, great. Garage door. This is what needs to be done. Frequency, every 6 months, every 2 years, do this. And it says, okay, now you should be doing this in this time. Great. The thing that I like to use AI for as well is a thought partner. So if it's like, tell me about other potential maintenance tasks that I should be doing for my house on a regular basis, and think about every area and then put it on the table.
Wait, are we leaving garage doors? Are we changing the topic?
This is the home app, right? So I've decided these things need to be done, and now we have a new.
Right, but are those in your calendar? Or you have a separate app that reads that? Or you have to remember to look at that?
I will be checking the home app.
Oh my God.
So now,
You have 4,000 nodes.
yeah, but so for now, but the areas are always the same areas. The home is going to be the central place for me to look for all the home things.
Why didn't Claude just add it to your calendar? So you don't have to think about it.
Well, then do that. That's fine.
So Obsidian has plugins, and you can add a calendar plugin on there so that if you do create that, it can attach your calendar to it.
It's a bit of a black hole, but you're welcome to
Very extensive.
do something outside of Obsidian, right? Integrate this with your calendar, integrate this with your to-do app, right? Todoist is a great solution. Oh, look, it's working. HVAC, replace air filter every 3 months, right? You may not do all of these things. This is why I'm personally not recommending you just blindly throw AI at your notes. But this is a good starting point. I may decide, you know, I'm a responsible homeowner, and I'm going to take the time to periodically check this list, right? Just as a human that wants to make sure my house is in good shape. And when something new comes up, I can just add it. Just say, oh, there's a new thing that I need to think of. This is a little overwhelming. I probably wouldn't leave this as is. I might find a more reasonable way to do this, but I hope it's a good example of where AI would do this, because you have to ultimately create columns and rows and do math, date math and all, and that's not fun. I don't like doing that.
In a crazy world, you could just set this up to have it where it finds a service for somebody that fulfills this, and then it automatically does it. So somebody shows up to your house, I don't know.
That'd be great.
JC,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
So I only have a couple more things to show you. Something that is really important for my personal workflow is a daily note. And so this is something that you might see in my daily note. I went to a certain coffee shop. I created a project. I completed another project. And in my daily notes, I'm going to just stay locked in to Obsidian. I'm going to be in Obsidian every day so that I continue to use it, right? What could happen, and there's a chance that half of you here will never, ever open Obsidian ever again. And if you'd rather not be in that half, my recommendation is just take notes of your day. Just say what's going on, right?
This is just another form of diary at this point.
It's just a diary. But it connects, right? You have these dots that can connect. And yeah, go ahead.
I started using Obsidian only for work, and I think kind of what you're getting at is, and I don't know if any other note taker does this, maybe Notion, but this is basically like a Bible or workbook for your agents that you could have working your home,
Absolutely, yeah.
your business, and this is where you go and read the files, and it's way more organized than having it only on your computer.
Right.
I think that's kind of what.
Absolutely, yeah. For the AI enthusiasts and people that want to automate their life, this is the path forward. You can point any coding agent tool to this, and it will know what to do. It doesn't have to try.
And it's higher fidelity context, right? Because everything here is linked appropriately
Yeah.
in a way that makes the most intuitive sense.
And you may have heard of Claude Code. Claude Code has a few files. It has a memory file. It has some sort of North Star type model that says like, this is the compass of my life, pay attention to this. I have notes like that in mine, but it wasn't valuable for this talk.
Sorry, I just need you to give me one shortcut. So like when you are in that days
Yeah.
directory, right? Let's say you want to make a new file.
Yeah.
What was the shortcut you used?
So Command P is your command palette. You can also push this button here, and you can say open today's daily note. And it doesn't have to be created. Obsidian will automatically create it. So if we delete this file, and we say to open daily note, it will create it. And if tomorrow you want to start planning your life, you can say the next daily note. Well, there is no next daily note. You can go to previous daily note, and it'll find the last day that you've worked on. And you can move back and forward if you want.
How does it, because I'm trying, how does it, do I have to be in that folder for that to happen?
Nope. I'll show you. Where is it? General. It's somewhere in here.
Have you played around with the calendar? There's like a plugin for a
Yeah.
calendar.
Yeah, I've used it.
Click on the date and it'll create the daily note.
So this is why there's a starter template, is I went through Obsidian and I set these rules. So days is the folder, and the format is the format. Feel free to change this if it's better for you, but it's a good format. Similarly, if you create a brand new note, it's going to go into the inbox, and that's been set up for you by me. So new notes. Default location for new notes is Obsidian, right, inbox. So feel free to spend some time in here in the settings. You get to that by hitting this little cog. And there's lots of settings worth knowing about. The plugins show up here. Daily notes, well, it's built in. Ooh, but it's not good for presentations. All right. Yeah.
So I'm seeing, I was considering this versus notebook LLMs. I know a lot of people were using that for their cases initially. Any real difference, or is it just the same thing?
Similar to what we've been talking about today, the notebook LLM system is more proprietary. So the idea of it not being Google, right? You want Anthropic's models, or you want an open source model to interact with your notebook, your notebook's data. It's not as simple. So with Obsidian, it's sort of more open-ended. You can bring any coding agent to work on it, and the other tool is more proprietary. But it is really powerful. I know lots of people like it.
Someone was pointing out how this is better for agents specifically. As someone new to AI and LLM, what about it works well in terms of an AI theory? Is it just better at linking?
It's because it's plain text is the answer. Yeah. It's because it's plain text. Plain text is good. And Markdown has become a very popular format for this space. And it's expanded. All right? So there's more in here. Feel free to explore. Areas, I have some pictures that I tied to this base view. There's a Markdown cheat sheet. So there's lots of ways in which you can write Markdown. This is a starting point if you want to know more. I've listed my starter vault as a resource note, so if you ever want to go back to it. And then you may decide you want to build prompts. So I gave you all a prompt for how could AI be used as a thought partner to help me generate more areas. You could feel free to take this, copy it into your AI bot of choice, and begin to talk to it. Jax.
I'm curious, is there a way to do this kind of a pull-based workflow where you check the following 5 things? It seems like, is there a way to do a push-based workflow of sorts where this is more of a secretary maybe?
Yeah, like the,
You can actually take things out of your head.
there's like,
So I think it'll make your secretary.
Claude Code is the kind of person that, those kinds of tools like to do that, where they'll write code, they'll write notes for you, they'll make sense of your notes and bubble up information as you need it and all of that. So Hermes is another really popular one that I think is doing a better job in that space. Or you could build it yourself. I think Lester was alluding to you could just vibe code some sort of system where you could build this all out yourself.
Josh, I remember, I
Right.
One of the things here where if you wanted to treat Claude as sort of a secretary to help with something like this, you feed in a format that you have for how you like to take notes about your day, right? Like I want to organize by the people I met, the places I was, etc. And then every day you can just talk into Claude, say, hey, I'm putting in my notes for today. Like this is what I did. Format it, do that, put it in a file that I can then just import straight into my Notion. And then even have the N8N workflow on the back end to just like pull your daily notes
That's
from
right.
Claude chat into Notion.
So like, one of the things, so a second of that, one of the things that I learned to do with Claude was, it can set up little launch agents on your Mac where it's gonna go grab the session files from that day at the end of the day and then make sense of it and keep notes.
Right.
Another part is like, you mentioned Hermes, you can kind of like get a nudge at the end of the day to put in your journal, your final journal.
Right.
And just talk to it, and then it'll just write those notes of, okay, this is what happened today.
Yeah.
This is what I worked on, this is what I need to remember. Then when you come in the next morning, you have your, this is what you know today.
Yeah, I've had a few really interesting conversations, and I'm learning how to balance the fundamentals of having personal ownership and authority over your own, the information coming through, right? Because you could just pass it all off, and you're losing personal authority. You're not in charge. AI is in charge if you're always giving it to the tool all the time. So there was a balance. Like, how do we have this workshop for AITX where we talk about AI, but I also, clearly describe that being able to make these connections yourself and spend a little bit of your own effort and time doing it will hopefully reinforce your understanding of it, right? Because when I use Claude Code and it writes a bunch of notes and makes a bunch of connections, I didn't make those connections myself. My brain isn't connecting the dots. I'm not learning if it's doing all the work. So there's a balance, and you'll find what's great for you. Joey, can I talk about you? You're working on a system that is like hands off, right? You're like, I'm not good at this. You're not as focused. You're not as interested.
I have ADHD, and then I play too much football. So
Yeah.
my brain don't work so good.
So he's on the side of things where he's like, let me find a way to automate as much as possible, and that's fine.
Using Obsidian or no?
He's not, yeah.
No.
But ask him about it after, yeah.
So from the initial look of it, it looks like it's kind of a mind mapping idea behind this.
Yeah.
And then a couple of questions. So how I can migrate my current OneNote to this?
That's a great question. You can export things. Sometimes the export can do plain text. I don't know if OneNote recently has done this. They may export to Markdown. You would have to verify that. But there are good tools. You may want to look up OneNote to Obsidian. Spend an evening, just go to the internet and search who has done OneNote to Obsidian. Because the Obsidian team has made an effort. They've done Notion, they've done Apple Notes, they've done, I think they did Evernote at some point. So that team, they're making an effort to say, how do we help people migrate? So you might find something useful online.
Is there a way for speech to text in this?
No, not to my knowledge. I had an idea of building a plugin that does that, like Obsidian, but I personally would recommend that you find a way to learn how to use dictation on your computer globally, because it's really useful outside of Obsidian. Drafting emails, responding, to messages. Dictation's a great global tool.
So you've built this second brain. Could you do an example of a query? So who's that guy I met from Capital?
That's right. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Lester, you might show up. So first AI meetup I went to was in March.
Oh my God.
Lester, there's your LinkedIn, buddy. I got Trey Brooks's number from a couple months ago, and then Appify was a really cool platform that we learned about. Bezi was the speaker, right? They built Bezi, so Bezi.
What exactly was the plan?
Oh, yeah. So, there's a key binding. For you, it's going to be Command O. And for me, the note was, I know what the note was, AITX meetup. That was what it was. I just had to find the date. And yeah, so here's stuff here. And look, oh my gosh, how full circle. I submitted my talk to Samir and the team, so at the end of attending the very first meetup, I had to write up a proposal and send it to him and his team, and that's where I did it. I did it here in this note. And this ultimately is now an archived note, right? It's not an active project, it's not a resource. I'm not gonna do anything with it anymore, but I still need it, and so anything that fits in that category, you just archive.
So tomorrow, Josh moves to Boston and is leading an AI Boston meetup. Yes, you'll find what he was talking about. It's in the archive.
That's right. And kind of funny thing, this will be recorded. There's a good chance that I'm going to, I know that we're kind of short on time here, aren't we? But I have the presentation. I have multiple meetings with these teams. Every meeting had a meeting note, all the things that were talked about, and I use a tool called Granola. Granola is a meeting listener. It listens to your meetings and then it spits out AI summary of what happened in the meeting. So that could be useful for you. Okay, any final questions?
Have you played with Karpathy's LLM Wiki?
Yeah.
Takes Obsidian?
So what I decided to do is I started talking to Claude Code and I said, hey, this is cool. What is this? How do I apply his rules to my existing system? And I picked up some ideas from him. Just, like a 30-minute research period.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You touched on plugins. You're thinking of building a plugin. Are there any plugins that are, that are out there that you suggest that are good to add to your Obsidian?
So you now have the maps feature and search settings. Setting search was really useful, right? It's like, what is that setting? It's called inbox. It's called daily, right? And so you can use this. You can use this to find settings. That was a plugin that I added for all of you already. There's lots of popular ones. Spend a few minutes on the internet, and you'll find, yeah, there's thousands. That's right. Great.
So currently it's free, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be free forever?
Yes. It's just an app, and they have no intention of ever creating a licensing system that requires users to pay to use it. So it's like a company promise. Hold that as strongly as you want.
How do they sustain the business?
So they do other services. They let you sync data, and that's a paid service. They have a publishing platform. So if you wanted to turn your notes into a blog post, website, that's a service. So they have a handful of and they have like company licensees, things like that. So they have some services surrounding the core functionality to make money. Okay. So again, we talked about this briefly. Thought partner, idea generator, markdown writer, note connector. AI is great for all of those things.
Is that your?
That's my.
Okay. What is the planet in the upper left?
My record collection. So all every record I own has a node in Obsidian. So that's that big, that blue section.
What's that?
I don't know.
That's probably.
I thought it'd be fun to explore a little bit, but we're out of time today. I encourage all of you to be messy. Like you saw my garage door note, that wasn't clean. Maybe you thought it was more organized than you would have written it, but it was just messy? Yeah, it was just like stream of consciousness. So this is only for you. You don't need to publish blog posts. You don't need to put this on the internet. You don't need to show your wife, right? Just use this as best you can, and put what is important to you into the system. Identify patterns. Be a little bit better every day. Please don't spend all weekend trying to deep dive into Obsidian. Just do something. Share your progress. Meaning, as you complete projects, as you learn new things, talk to your friends, come back to the meetup, tell me next month what you got out of it, and then progress creates momentum, right? So the more we use it, use your daily note, you're going to go, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I forgot about that. And you'll start to use Obsidian more by using Obsidian.
I saw you have archived notes. So are you the one deciding when a note, do you have a routine of archiving notes?
I'm doing my best to be engaged in projects. So when the project's over, archived. And I'm pretty active in checking my active notes. That's my way of making sense of the world and moving forward in life, is going to my active project folder, working on those notes until they're done, and then just archiving when I'm over. And maybe like an area is like, that area is not important to me anymore. Maybe a community shuts down, maybe I get a new job, and I'll just go, okay, like life change, I'm gonna archive those things, all right? So, no big selling point today. I have a YouTube channel mostly focused on developer productivity. Not all of you are developers. I have a Discord server, so I talk about these topics some. There's a Obsidian kind of section in my Discord server if you like that kind of thing. And I'm an active member, so I plan to be here next month and the next. So.
All right, everyone give Josh a round of applause. You know, I think one of the reasons why internally we felt really passionate about this workshop is, as everybody here who develops knows, the quality of your output is heavily dependent on the quality of your input. The goal here, as we kind of started surfacing at the end of the discussion, is how do you take the myriad sources of data in your life, translate them into a uniform sort of methodology for inputting in a systematic way that enables you to then plug into agents to whatever desire or whatever capacity you're interested in. High level, Josh, I'm going to have you go back to the
Let's do it.
Our QR codes here. I think most of you got them, but we'll give you one last chance to scan and say. So the newest, greatest one is the WhatsApp community. This is where you can get pestered by us every day. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to send that many messages, but that is the most real-time update. If you all have questions about the next meetup, I'm going to be on there, so you guys can also just DM me if you want to lead a workshop, interested in volunteering for the hackathon, whatever. We just wanted to be as accessible to you as possible. With that, we are at 7:30. We are not kicking folks out. We still have some pizza left over while we clean up. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. One more round of applause for Josh.
Thanks.
We really appreciate our community members leading workshops. If you guys want to do something, our door's open, our stage is open. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Have a good rest of your evening.